Right then, I'm just sharing that I'm running out of time for making the bags that I wanted to make for the family. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make a family quilt, and it's not a big fancy thing. It's just a representation of all the things that I've made for them. I'm using some of the fabric, just 5-inch squares, and I've got to tie it all together, and then it's just make a scrappy quilt. So it is now, I don't know, it's the Tuesday, so that would be 6th, 7th. It's the 9th of December, and we go in 8 days. Okay, I better crack on and stop talking. Hey, I haven't finished yet, but I've finished for the day. I think it's nearly 5 o'clock. It's getting really dark and blustery outside, but today I have got 19 packs of 6. I've got 17 packs of matching 6s, and then I have some extras that add to 19 packs. Okay, I haven't even tried to calculate that yet. Then I still have more fabric to cut, and I shall see you another time. Okay. And just a quick update about the quilt. So I bought a green brushed cotton sheet to cut into strips for the backing because their walls are pale green, and I thought that would be good, but then having seen the quality of it, which I'm not that happy about, but also they have got 3 black cats, one of which has very long hair, and I just thought sitting on the brushed cotton, it may all get interwoven. And they also have a tortoiseshell cat, so yes, I don't think we want it full of cat hairs that have all woven in. So I thought better backing would be cotton, and I had a pack of fat quarters, and I've had to join these to get the length that I need. So I'm going to cut these into 5-inch long strips, and the length will be covering 14 by 5-inch squares. Yes, so I haven't been able to match properly on the joins, but never mind, I've done my best, and I've managed to match the vertical stripe on the one in the middle. Now there are 2 other colours for this. I'm going to have to use one which is a lilac backed ditzy print. Amy isn't keen on ditzy everywhere, and I didn't want to overwhelm her with that. I don't want to be taking over her colour palette in her house, but this is just the back, but possibly when it's folded inside out, this is what you're going to see more than the actual quilt. And the other one is pink ombre, which she definitely wouldn't want, and I wouldn't want to inflict on her. So that's what I've got there, and then I'll just swing you around and show you my setup for now. Okay, so today I have moved my machine onto the big table so that I can use the space out the side of me. If it gets too big, I can put the other table at this point, at this edge. Now I've got in the middle, I did just put a picture in of the rows of the way I'm proposing to do it. I've got the first 5 rows of a 10 by 14 quilt top. So I've got a pin at the top through all of them for each row, and I know to start at the top. The one that is presenting at the top is the first one that's going on, and all the others are going below it. So I'm going to just do 1 strip at a time, and then I'll maybe be back with you later. Okay, so I've got myself a mini setup here with all my bits and pieces that I usually just have in one cabinet at the side of me. Okay, I've altered my thread to a kind of mid lilac shade because I'm going to be sewing lots of different colours together. So all my tools are to hand, and I'm just going to start sewing now. Okay, I've got much better light here as well as the space. Okay, so the first 3 are fully put together. I've just made an amendment to row 4. For some reason I'd just got something that was almost duplicated. So I've just taken a photo to check that I've got everything in line now. And then row 5 is, some of it is pinned together. So I should just go and finish the seams on that. Really pleased with it now. I'm just putting my 6th row on. I'm only laying it out. Okay. It's looking good, isn't it? So we're 6 rows wide now, and I'm having to stand on a little stool just to get the picture, the video of the end, just about the end. I'm just fixing up row 9. The others are all sewn together just in their long strips, and I'm just making sure of the gaps that I've got so I can just go and cut some more. Nearly there now, but it's nearly 7:30, and I'm going to stop in a minute. Okay. If we're talking rows across and columns down, they are the 2 columns that I have to do now, and they are number 9 and number 10. I placed everything on the bed yesterday, and I took photos, which I'll probably have already put in, and the box there that looks like it's being lined with something, that was just a box that had everything in for a while, and then popped that fat quarter over there because I'm going to have to join that one as well to make one thin slice of the backing. Okay. I'm doing it the way of the scrap fabric, love, and I'll have explained that by now anyway. So just a quick update on what I'm doing. Then I've got loads of room this side. I will bring in another table to let the rest of the quilt lie on that. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye for now. Last chance saloon. 2 or 3 were wrong in the last 2 rows, so I've re-sorted those. And I'm just going to take a photograph and see if I can get the other rows put together. Well, I've got the next to the last one on now. Nothing's on, what I mean is they're all sewn together. So I've got it in place. These others are still in pieces. I'm just checking that everything's all right. I'm now going to go and make that last row, and then I think I deserve a cup of tea. So this is my final strip, and what I'm doing is pressing all the seams alternate to each other. So I'll just turn it over in the hope that they will all nest. All the odd numbers I started with up. That one, the first one went up, the second one down, the third one went up, the next seam went up, the next one went down, the next one went up, the next one went down, and then on the odd ones, instead of going up first, I went down first. So they should all nest when it comes to being put together. And that's the method that I watched. Oh, I always forget her name. Anyway, she's at Scrap. Never mind. Scrap something love. Anyway, never mind. Okay, that's who I'm following. I'll come back in and say who I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm just doing this. It's very steamy and very noisy, so I'm not filming it. Okay, this is my last one. Then I'm going for sit down, because then I'm going to cut the batting into 4.5-inch strips, 14 of them. So, wish me luck. So this is my next lot of backing strips, and I've just got to measure 66. I need 63, but I want to have a bit extra. Then I can sort that out once I've got them together. Okay, so I now have the backing strips ready to go. My selvages are hanging off at this end, which should be the bottom end. As I pick them up, I'll have to make sure of that. There's an extra 3 inches on the length of the backing strips, and then there are my. I've just had to throw a blanket on this, all the bedding and everything. It doesn't look very nice, but I'm not bothered. This blue thing was I bought a roll of curtaining some time ago, thinking I could use it for all sorts. I washed it and it takes yonks to get any creases out. It's just been under the bed in a box, waiting for something, but it's too thick to back a quilt with. So anyway, I'm pleased with that. So that's number 1 strip, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Now I'm going to go and cut all my backing strips into 4.5-inch wide by 66. Okay, see you later. Okay, well, I keep starting the conversation with okay. I'm now cutting the batting, and I'm cutting it down to 4.5. Just got my straight edge on the other piece, and I've only got 9 more to cut. Okay, got 2 on my ironing board and 5 there, so I've only got 3 more to do. Just need to trim those. It's a little bit long. I'm on the next phase now, where I'm clipping the first row and the second row together, and then I've got to clip the backing pieces, the first row and the second row, 2 of those clips, and then I'll see where I go from here. So these are the first 2 rows, and I'm really pleased. Not as simplistic as Kristen said or demonstrated, because it does need to be pressed for my taste and, well, for my control over it, to be able to quilt it just up the middle of the seam, just like a shadow of the seam. Okay, that's it. I'm going to crack on. It's 7:20 Sunday evening, something like the 14th, and let's see if I can get a bit more done. I've got the batting in between these on Sunday evening. I think it is the 14th. And yes, here we go. Another row on it. I haven't done the stitching yet. I haven't done just the row of quilting down there. And I'm happy with that for tonight. Okay, 7 more side strips to put on. Okay, night. Right, so I have 3 already attached now, and that is the back of those 3, and they've been top stitched on each side, or quilted if you like, just down here. And then I'm now attaching my 4th row. So what I have to do is match it up at the top. Match it up at the top and start attaching it right sides together all along the strip, and put in a pin at each intersection so that I know that they will nest. And then I usually pin that one first, and then I'll put the backing in underneath, right sides together again. Okay, I'll come back when I've done that. So it's now 20 minutes later than when I showed you and said that I was going to join all the blocks on the front. The strip on the front, I decided to attach the one to the back first, because this is getting a bit shy. The one underneath is becoming a bit more and more shy next to the batting, and it's hard to pull it forward. So I thought, if I get this one on first, which doesn't have any seams to join up to, nothing to nest, nothing, that might help. And then I've had to pull quite a bit to get the binding. Because of this method, you are pushing in a strip of batting between each layer or tier or row, whatever, and sometimes it just comes away a little bit Once it's sewn in, it's where it is, and then if it's just moved out slightly, it can be protruding a bit, but it's not coming further than the actual blocks. If you see, it's this that's kind of shrunk back. The first one has shrunk back when it's been sewn, because you can pull taut more on the top than the bottom. You've no idea what the bottom's doing. Anyway, it'll all make sense at the end. This row is now attached, and front and back, and just open that out. Sorry about this, but I am in such a rush to get this done that I can't set up a tripod or a ring light or anything to actually just demonstrate it. But all the video is on Kristen's vlog for the method that she's shared. Okay, so I'll check that. I shall bring it forward from behind and press that open, no steam, and then I will insert the 4.5 inch piece. Here we go. Strip of batting in between. Okay, now for some lunch. So that's how it's looking from the back now. So I will give that a press, I think, after I've eaten something. And then I've only got 6 more rows to put on, and the time is 10 to 1 on the Monday. So 4 are attached, but at the moment I'm just going to top stitch, or quilt if you like, the 3rd row on the outside. And because of my walking foot, and because I have a strange needle position on my machine, it's not reliable in the middle. If you know me, you'll know about it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've had to do some tests, and I am setting this at 3.0 width and 3.5 stitch length. And when I come to go down this side, I have to set it at 4.5 and 2 and 3. So I'm not doing this side yet because the batting isn't in. I'm doing this, then I'm going for my lunch. Okay. That's next stage has been done, and now I've got to attach the next row. Okay. Ready to add number 5. I've clipped the back to the quilt, and now I'm going definitely for my lunch. I still hadn't had it. 2:05. Oh, it's definitely getting wider. Okay, I've now got 5 on, and I'm just going to put the, I've put the batting in, and I have put the quilting line in. Now I'm going to attach the strip for the back and the strip for the front. So it's getting a bit bigger on my knee now, as I'm going to go and do the top stitching on the 5th row, and I have attached the 6th row. I have the batting in there, but I'm not sewing on that yet. I don't sew that until I add the next row to this, and then that is stitched. Then this won't move while I sew the top stitching. It's all very clever stuff, but it's fabulous. I'm really pleased with it. And at the time is 10 to 6, still on Monday, I think. Okay, so let me just get this top stitching done on this one side. Then I'm having my tea. It's all about food, isn't it, really? Hey up, now it's coming along, isn't it? And 7 getting attached right now. Can hardly believe I've made this. Anyway, I've still not finished it, so I've not actually made it yet. But it's quite a bit hanging over. Right, top stitching. I've been at this all day, and it's got to 25 to 8, and I've only just realised I've not had my table on my machine. I've just been fighting with this a little while, trying to keep it level. I've just realised. So I've been about 5 hours without this on. Anyway, okay, I'm getting on. I've just put some batting in the 7 row, and I'm just doing the last top stitch on this section. Okay, so it is, I don't know what day, it's Tuesday, something like the 16th of December, and I've just put my 8th row on. This is my 8th one, this was my 7th, and I've still got to, this was my 7th, and I've still got to top stitch this and then top stitch that, and any workings then are only on this side, so they're only at this. These are the only things that go in the throat area of the machine at one time, and that's the idea of it really, that you're not having to bunch up all your quilt underneath your little throat space, and you're putting the batting in as you go along. Now when Kristen does it, obviously she's been sewing for years, she's been quilting for years, and I have to be more precise because this is the first time I'm doing it, and also I just am precise by nature, so it's no good for me to do it at 100 miles an hour. It sounds like she's doing it 100 miles an hour, but she's not. She's obviously fast forwarding it, and yeah, she speeded it up several times, I think, but that's the method that she's advocating for, this one of the join and flip methods, and so far I've got this quilt out of it, so I can't complain at all, can I? Okay, see you again. Okay, so this is row 9 that I'm adding now. I should just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 underneath, 9, yes, 9. Okay, let's see how tangled up I get here. Can't say it's a miserable quilt. Right then, okey-doke. Just a seam allowance with 4 fabrics and 1 piece of batting. And let's get a bit here. Take some weight there. Probably some on my knee in a minute. Let's get this started. Let's get the party started. On a Saturday night, and it's Tuesday afternoon. Okay, so let's get some of that on me. I don't know what you'll see, but we'll see what you see when I check the video. I think I'm usually set a little bit further across, so I'll try that. There. It's hot under this light. Oh, I can't buy that one. Get back on. row 10 is now on, and I just have to put in this strip of batting into this and then finish off this edge and then square it up, cut my binding and put on the binding. So wish me luck. Okie doke. That looks too far over. It's fine. Okay, so I've put my last line of stitches on the edge, so I've got to trim this down a little bit just where there's any batting peeping out or if it's off square. But now I have to go back to the very first one that I did. I don't know if I can just do it like this. So the first one I did, the way you do this method, you start from here. You will have seen at the beginning, or I'll have explained it anyway. So you start from here and then you turn this one out from underneath and this one to that side, and then it isn't attached to anything. Now Kristen puts pins in all along, and I didn't do that, but I needed to hold it down so that it wasn't flapping and getting in the way and possibly getting caught. So I just ran a very loose basting stitch up the side, and now I'm going to take that out, square it all up, and then sew down again, just like I've done on the end one. So now I know I can put all this where it's a bit gathered up or a bit, whatever it is. Anyway, I know what I mean. It's just baggy because it's not in line. So that's all I need to do there, and I'm just going to do that now. And then I can square it up and make my binding and put on the binding for it. And it is 11:45, so I'm doing okay because I've got a lot of things packed already because we leave in the morning. Okay. I'm just running a row of stitches just on the upper edge now, so I'm 14 rows below me. I'm just going down across 10. Okay, just so that when I square it off, it won't just all be loose. Okay. Cut all my 2.5-inch strips, and I've levelled off the other edge and just going to sew the last edge off anyway. Time is a bit tight, but I'm really pleased with how the binding is going on, and I've decided to bind it from the back first, finishing it on the front by machine, which is the way I do my bags. And creaking floor, ooh. Excuse me. It was a toss-up between, it was a difficult decision about the black, because it goes really well with the front of the quilt, but to me it just adds kind of a midnight moment to the planets, etc. Okay, so it's only 4:30 and I'm going to continue doing this binding. I've just taken my afternoon ibuprofen, not that you need to know that. And then I will finish off this binding on the back, and then I will turn it over and do the rest, and then have my tea, and then do the other things that are necessary, like colouring my hair and finishing packing. And a Merry Christmas to everyone. Now, I'm on the last few stitches of the binding, and I actually can't believe that I've made this wonderful thing. So I'm going to put my phone away now so as not to distract myself, because I need to get ready and packed and everything for tomorrow and work out how I'm going to carry this down. And it has been finished. Woohoo! And the back is more for the grown-ups, but there you go. We're all done. And it is 10 to 8 on Wednesday. Whatever date that is, I don't know, 16th, 17th. Okay.